Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the realistic performance league on the PlayStation platform, brought to you in partnership with gridfire.com. I am one of your commentators for tonight, Malc, and with me tonight, not Tim, unfortunately. He has been unavailable this evening, so hopefully he'll be back next week for round 11. But with me for, I think it's the second or third time, I can't remember, I'm losing the plot because I just can't believe it. But JBH will be joining me tonight. And how are you doing, JBH?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's going to be a classic because watching from the Mexican Grand Prix, from the last two races that I've seen, there's been some shocks along the way. There's been absolute shocks in the F3 with the rain conditions as well. And also in F2 where we've had a dry conditions and we had some unbelievable moments. So are we going to have another mixed condition weather tonight, or do you think we're going to have the basic dry at Mexico?
Well, I mean, if form is anything to go by, we're going to have a mixed one, but it could be interesting if it was a fully wet race all at the same time, because as we know, the tyres, if you can drag the tyres out and not have a pit stop, it can be beneficial, or it all depends on the wear of them. So it'd be interesting if it was a fully wet race.
Ooh, yeah, hopefully so, because it was a tricky conditions last night, to be fair, in the F3, because I thought it was going to be a dry start and found out it was an intermediate conditions. So and from what you told me yesterday in the F3 interviews, it was a tricky start, but you kept that pressure on Rudder. I know you said Rudder then. Rudder on that one, to be fair. And he said Rudolph. That's not what I meant to say, to be fair. So, but yeah, it should be a classic anyway, whatever happens. Just a bit of a recap. Bit of a couple of updates. So just to give you a bit of an update itself. This is round 10's teams of as the car allocated drivers tonight. The only difference from this list is, unfortunately, Tinus is unavailable and will not be able to carry on with the Realistic Performance League. So I wish him all the very best of luck wherever happens. I hope that he'll come back sooner rather than later. So the two Ferraris are Svillas and Tadelli. The Red Bull are of Saab and Suspud. Mercedes are Melanade and O'Stephen. Alfa Romeo will be Simon Palmer and JP911959. McLaren of Nitrogash and Keza. Alpine of Joe Hamster and Dowell. Alpha Tower is Smoke and Turok. Haas of Michael. No, Michael, no! Moments. And then Ginger Tiger as well joining in that Haas car. That Haas car, I feel like that's a little bit dominant from what we've seen in the Realistic Performance League this season. We'll have to wait and see. Aston Martin of Sunboy and Rustman, and the Williams of Speed Queen and ARL. And ARL, who's just joined me in the chat. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you came well. This is Williams again. Big surprise. Lol. So, yeah, I don't do the allocation, so I can't really say that much. So, we're about to do the driver standings to give you a bit of an update. And it's really close. Really close. Because you've got Rustman, who's in prime position at the moment in first with 164 points. Ginger Tigers in second with 157. Dowell, who cannot make it tonight due to work-related stuff, so he's in third with 155, but he will lose out quite a bit. This is where it gets close. Melanade is in fourth with 154. Smoke is in fifth, the former champion last season, with 153, so we have to watch out for those. Sunboy's in sixth with 128. Joe Amster is in seventh with 127. Speed Queen is in eighth with 121. ARL is in ninth with 119. O'Stephen is in 10th with 113, and the rest are under 113 points. And a little bit of an update of the constructors. So the constructors, as you can see, Race Ventura Wind Detectors, that is the best name ever. Absolute best name of it all. Is in first place with 317 points. Neither fast nor furious. Well, they are fast and furious, but they're second place, so they're getting close. 282 points is in second place. Smooth Operators is in third with 266. Bouncy Proposing Drivers is in fourth with 246. Nikita Mazepin Racing is in 5th with 211, and the rest are under 211 points. So, that is the update. I will do that again in a matter of time. But remember, we will have 12 laps of the sprint. No formation lap, so this is going to be quite interesting, to be fair. And beautiful skies, JP. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it looks like we're definitely going to have a dry sprint race at least. Obviously no qualifying in the RP League, which is one to get used to for filling in commentating, that's for certain. But yeah, is it 12 laps of sprint, 36 lap feature, and it's going to be interesting because obviously track position around Mexico is quite key. I mean,
Yes.
in the sprint, you want to be probably third, fourth area and get a good start off the line, have the draft into turn 1 in the feature. So it'd be interesting to see how many battles we have and how many late moves we might see into the likes of turn 1 and into the stadium at turn 12.
Absolutely. And from what I can remember, if you're in first, you're going to get swamped with the slipstream. So I do agree to try and get yourself third or fourth or nearish to there, because that is where that's the most key position that you need. But doesn't that play on the driver's minds to try not to get first or second place? Doesn't that bother you a bit, though?
Not really, because it's interesting to see that tactical thought process, especially for those involved in the championship fight as well. I mean,
Yeah.
6 rounds to go, 12 races for everyone. It's, you know, this is the kind of time where those at the top are thinking about championship. So it wouldn't surprise me if they don't go for overtakes against opposition that are lower than them in the table, not really in that fight, and just take the points they can if they're ahead of their closest rivals anyway. So yeah, it makes for some interesting decision making, and it's always nice to see the different thought patterns you get. I mean, knowing IRL, I suspect everyone will be going for the win anyway, but we shall see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I forgot to mention, actually, from what I've seen anyway, I will mention it on the stream, yes, there's some drivers who are trying to get themselves ahead of their other competitors, but at the same time, it's costing them dearly because of mistakes and forcing them to a gap where it doesn't even exist. So be interested to see what's going to happen, and the time is about to start. So give it to Stephen. He says he wants 6 in the bed down the straight. We'll be very lucky with that, to be fair. But here we go, 10 seconds left. There is no formation lap. Sprint to be kicking off, and this is going to be a classic. Here we go. Who will be on that prime position for the feature race? So wish everyone the best of luck. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights, and we are go, go, go! Who's had the great start? Who has had the greatest start? Looks like James has had a great start. So Spudge dropped down. Simon Palmer's getting close. Some boy drops. Oh, ARL's dropped himself right down to 11th. So I'm not sure what's happened. Oh my days! 2 in a big moment at turn 1. Simon Palmer made the move. And that's a stellar of a job, but Spud has lost a few positions and could lose another one to some boy, JP.
Yeah, looking a bit further back in the pack, it looked like Michael Looker got very sideways through turn 1, whether that was a result of contact or not, but he's down now into 15th in the Haas as they all approach up towards turn 6 now for the leaders. And we got side by side with the Melonade and Smoke through turn 6. Melonade just about getting in front, but they're still side by side, heading down towards 7. Smoke with the inside line still, and he just about claims it on the exit.
Unbelievable move! Unbelievable! Fantastic overtake! That was brilliant stuff there from Smoke, the former champion from last season. So can he try and keep the pressure on Sunboy? That's the biggest question of all. But can Melonade try and ease up? But as you noticed, JP, I forgot to mention, there's only been 3 drivers who have gambled to go on the softs. Are you surprised with that?
Not particularly. The softs round here, obviously it looks quite sunny, which means there's probably quite a lot of temperature. The softs do tend to last about 8 laps, is really before they start really tailing off. I think Tirak side by side with JP, meanwhile the 14th, gets the move done. Yeah, it's not too big a surprise because come the end of this race, if there is no safety car or virtual safety car, I think the soft runners may struggle in the last 3 laps or so.
Yeah, they may struggle in the last few laps or so, but watching it from JP's point of view, cannot catch up to Tarak because he made that move perfectly, to be fair. And we might have to go back to Smoke, who was 210s and now dropped down to 6. Try and catch them at those barrels. They're just teasing, to be fair. They're absolutely teasing on the track, aren't they, JP?
Yeah, everyone at the moment now just starting to find exactly where all the grip is. Obviously, Smoke having to use those soft tyres as best he can here. He will have the grip advantage as Ginger Tiger and Russman swap places.
That's a great move. That's a great move there from Ginger Tiger. Fantastic stuff. Nitrogash has lost out, but Russman will not give in. Will not give in, but Nitrogash in that McLaren needs to push on. I do apologise for that. Oh my God!
Round.
Did you see that, JP? Did you see that?
I was on board then, so I don't know exactly what happened.
Oh,
no!
no!
That's Keza.
Keza, no, Steve, and Tarak. They've had contact at the last few corners. So that is mad seas. But Russman goes subside to the bend moment against JP. Oh my days, it's getting right close.
Sunboy's round at turn 1 as well, Malc.
Sunboy has spun. Sunboy has spun. Did you see what happened, JP?
No, I've caught out the tail end as I saw him dropping down, but it looks like possibly he's just spun on the rears, but again, could be a bit more contact into turn 1 as people try and fight for those positions. But yeah, this is a bit of a mad opening start as JP is still right on the tail of Russman, heading up towards turn 6.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job, to be fair, Russman. Trying to pull away, but JP, I was watching that barrel from the straight line speed, and just as cut through to Sunboy and then back in.
Sorry, Malc. Smoke going for a move on to Spud into the stadium. Turn 12, bit of contact, and Smoke's now round.
Oh no! Oh no! Smoke! You've got to be careful not to cause any havoc. He doesn't want to get disqualification at that stage. But what is going on tonight? Everyone's either eager to try and get past and not making the move perfectly, or they're trying to lose out massively on keeping that position. Melanade's getting closer to Spud, and Melanade's made the move into 3rd place, JP.
Yeah, and obviously DRS now active, meaning a nice helpful boost of speed that for Melanade. Obviously, so Spud with no DRS available. JP has down the inside of Russman through turn number 1. He's going to try and keep around the outside for 2, inside for 3, and beautiful move.
But he's got wide!
Which means I'll have to hand the place back, but he'll get DRS for this part of the straight, which should allow him back up the inside for turn 4, which it does.
Whoa!
Very tight on the entry, but just about a racing car's width given. So good racing between JP and Russman.
Oh, Joe's out!
Joe Hamster.
Joe Hamster's out! Joe Hamster is out of the race, and we're going to have our first safety car of the evening. Interested to see where he crashed.
Through the S's. Yeah, that's not an unusual place that for Joe Hamster. He's probably hooked it up on that inside curve, because that section there, you basically cut a little bit of the first left and then hook the car on the right hand side curb to get the best line through the next corner. He's probably just hooked up a little bit too much and the car's gone round, which is a bit of a shame for Joe Hamster because he was very much in control of this race. But the question is, Mark, is anyone going to try and have a quick pit stop, put some softs on? Because now is about the right sort of time frame to maybe do it.
Yeah.
If you want to take a gamble.
Yeah, but then the problem is everyone's nearish all together. I think if you're at the back, I would gamble. From 10th downwards, I would gamble for the softs. But again, it's that risk of losing that position when you're in that pit. But again, you might be benefit from that, to be fair.
Interesting. Tarak's gone on to another set of mediums, which I find a bit bizarre at this point in the race.
What? What is going on? I think Tarak's team must have not picked the right tyres for him. I think he must have picked for the softs. He surely must have picked for the softs. If he didn't, and he actually went for the mediums, then that is the most... You're right there, JP. Most unusual pit stop with the mediums. Again, the softs should have been the way forward at this stage, but I don't know. It might know something that we don't know, but that is the most unusual pit stop that he should have had for the softs, JP.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to have 6-7 laps of racing left, depending on when the safety car comes in. I suspect we're going to have another lap here because obviously the whole pack isn't together. The game usually does a maximum of 3, and normally once the pack's all caught up, as long as it's a decent chunk of the lap, then the safety car comes in. So expect at least 1 more lap of safety car, possibly 2.
I think one. I think 1, because the McLaren of Keza will catch up to these guys by the time they hit the second sector, I think, anyway. That's my guess. But I might be wrong.
Someone to look out for, Malc, is Speed Queen. She sat in 4th on the soft compound, and now these tyres are going to be good in terms of their performance till the end. Tarak's back in the pits, I'd assume is because he wants some soft tyres, not mediums. Let's have a look.
So
yes, it is.
Yeah, so we found out that Tarak has lost out that good position that he was. Well, I say good position. He was in 13th, 14th, but that was the position where he should have not made that unfortunate pit stop again. That's the problem. I mean, also, yeah, I do agree. Remember, Speed Queen she's master of the tyre strategy, and I've said this every single week because you have to watch out, because she has done fantastic work on the tyre management, and she does that perfectly, to be fair. Good evening to Lee. How you doing, mate? You right? I hope you came well. He says Simon Palmer has some great pace around the circuit, riding on the crest of Tuesday night's wave. Absolutely. Simon Palmer won it on Tuesday night in the F2, and he did that perfectly, so I would not be surprised if he gets into the top 3 again. Reen says rush of adrenaline before the race for some drivers. Let's go. This was before the start, and Reen says the Alpines running away with this, just as I say that when Joe Hamster went off when hit the wall.
Safety car in this lap, Malc, so we are about to go and get racing once again. For 6 laps of racing, and I think Simon, whilst he's quick, he's going to have a job on his hands because he does have a Mercedes, although that Mercedes does have a time penalty already.
Yeah, the time penalty, but Simon Palmer will probably go at this point because he did that last time in the F2, and I would not be surprised if he goes right here now. Yeah, he's going now, he's not messing about. That Mercedes.
Melonade stuck with him though, which is a fantastic effort, although he's not quite got the exit out of the final corner through the Paratauda. But he has stuck with him, which is crucial, especially on the basis he's got the car advantage in that Mercedes.
Absolutely. I'm just watching the back of IRL losing out to the Tiger for 5th place. Hopefully he'll catch up from that Williams car as well. But watching it from the driver's perspective, Smoke has moved up to 12th. Tadelli drops down to 13th place. Saab's getting close to Nitragash in 7th and 8th. IRL is trying his best to close the gap, but Melonade, I'm going to have to go back to the top 2. Melonade is getting close by 2/10 now, JP.
Yeah, he was close to nicking the back of Simon's car there. Good job to make sure he didn't, but this is probably Melonade's best chance here. Is he needs to stick with Simon for this lap and the next lap, and then once obviously the next lap hits, he needs to stick. We basically needs 3 laps to stick with Simon to be able to get the DRS down the main straight, and I think if you can get past Simon, Melonade is quick enough to utilise the pace advantage of the Mercedes, but how much he'd be able to pull away, because he does have 3 seconds to gap Simon to actually keep it.
Yeah, that's very true, but remember, if Simon Palmer does play his cards right and keeps his ERS to as much as when he needs it at each point in the track, he will keep ahead of Melonade, but this is going to be crucial. I'm going to watch it from Melonade's point of view. Looking at down the straight, the slipstream is absolutely insane. Look at this. Melonade's getting close, so that we might have a 2 in a bad moment at turn 1. He might not be able to make the move into turn 1. Does not do it just yet. So Spud's trying his best to close the gap, but cannot do anything about it. And Simon Palmer still holding on. On lap 8 to 12. But Melonade, you might be right here, JP. Needs to catch up and keep within Simon Palmer within the next 2 laps.
That's a bit of a spin. So, sorry to catch you up on the back. Keza and Tirak were side by side through turns 1, 2 and 3, and a slight bit of contact has allowed Tirak to spin through turn 3. They were very, very tight, very close racing. But unfortunately, Tirak.
Oh! Melanade! I can't say the words. He's off track, same as what happened to Joe Amster.
And that's brought out a second safety car, Malc.
Oh!
We have a second safety car in the sprint race. The sprint race is only 12 laps.
I know. I'm dreading what's going to happen in the actual real-life race.
Oh, and Tirak now has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car.
So it's going from... it's been mad, to be fair. Absolutely mad. And JP... whoa! Kes has got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Steve. I don't know why or how, but apparently he has, to be fair. But absolutely mad. Lee says, "Oh, oops, yeah." Blaming you on that one, to be fair. Just joking. Stuart, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're going well. Joe says, "I blame myself. Blame my probably commentators because I did not say one word, mate. I've encouraged you to do well. I try to, because you say you're not a big fan of Mexico. This was your bestest opportunity to do well tonight after what happened in the F3 yesterday. So yeah, you can't blame me on that one, to be fair. But yeah, we're just going back onto the racing on lap 9. So we will probably have. I reckon we're going to have a last lap shootout. Do you agree with that, JP?
I think we're going to get probably through 3 laps. I think, well, actually maybe 2. It depends what the game thinks, because obviously Keza went into the pit, so he's a long way behind them. Tirak did retire in the pits, and I'm not surprised because you're not allowed to serve your drive-through under the safety car. You have to serve it under green flag conditions, which means he'd be at least 20 seconds behind everyone after the first full lap. So no surprise in that one, but once again I'm going to come back to Speed Queen. Soft tyres, 2 laps to go for racing in my opinion, because the safety car not coming in just yet.
Yeah, so I do agree, probably be 1 more lap for the safety car because Kez is just going through the ES's part on sector 2. So yeah, definitely be 1 more lap. I thought it was going to be a last lap shootout the way the 2 cars there were. But Keza will have an opportunity to get close to the gap, and we will have a few laps of epic racing. Now, I do agree, Speed Queen, she has got the chance to get a good position to start with in the Mexican Grand Prix for the feature race tonight. So I'm just reading some of the comments. Stuart says Bud is going to struggle to get 3 seconds ahead. We'll drop him down considerably. Yeah, I mean, unless, I say that again, unless Speed Queen, Tiger and ARL having a torrid restart, Spud might have a chance. But again, it's just big ifs at the minute. Lee says 18 starters, I reckon 10 finishers in May. Ooh, we'll have to put a prediction at the start of it to see how much. Safety car would come in next lap regardless of their catch up. That's what Joe says. Stuart says safety car to win this. Tyres won't be shot after 2 safeties. Yeah, it will not be surprised. I'm not be surprised. That's why we've seen that, to be fair.
If you're on a stack, Malc, a third of this race is going to be under safety car. We're going to have 4 laps of safety car period during this race.
That's mad. This is mad.
12. But everyone making sure the tyres are as warm as they can be. Not the easiest game to keep the tyre warm under safety car, especially with the Aston Martin, and that's a nice early safety car call in this time.
He did.
So Simon can prepare a little bit more.
I think he'll go and do the exact same thing as what he did the last time, where he shot off from the baseball ground section. I'm just watching from this car. He's going now. He's going now. He's going now. Going past the last corner. He's not messing about. So Spud needs to catch up. He's slow on the restart. He is slow on the restart. And they've got 2 laps remaining. 2 laps remaining. We're on the penultimate lap. Penultimate lap, JP.
Yeah, that's a pretty perfect start for Simon. Speed Queen, unfortunately, not really going to get any good start of that because she's behind Sir Spud. But Nitric Ash looking to the outside of ARL into turn 1, catches him napping, as does JP maybe, not quite, just runs a little bit too wide. But Nitro, a fantastic start. Looks like if Stephen and Tadelli are to be side by side. Oh, Stephen winning out on that battle, but yeah, great stuff from Nitric Ash, really catching ARL napping on the restart.
Absolutely, and yeah, he did well to capitalise on that mistake, to be fair. But remember, they're all going to try and catch up. It looks like Spud is still probably going to drop down quite a few positions, probably about 6th or 7th, the way it looks at the minute, if it stays like this. But remember, Spud, Speed Queen, they're both teammates, so I'm surprised that Speed Queen... sorry, I was surprised Spud has not let Speed Queen get past. Yellow flag set to 2, and now his Rustman drops himself down, and like a domino effect, all the way down to the last place of 15th. JP.
Yeah, no idea of that for Rustman. Keza down the inside to Deli into turn 12. Nice move, but he does have a penalty, so he's got to get his skates on this last lap. And Simon, 1.2 second gap. Speed Queen 1 second behind. Obviously, no DRS for the remainder of this race. And Ginger Tiger is looking like he might have a pop here at Speed Queen up towards turn 1.
Yeah, I'll just see what he's going to try and go for. He's got no ERS left. He's trying to save all that ERS down the straight. But watching it from his perspective, he's got a chance to make the move on Speed Queen. Kez moves up to 11. O'Steven drops down at 12th. But Speed Queen has pulled away from Ginger Tiger. JP.
Yeah, that was a nice move from Kez around the outside of O'Steven in turn 1. I mean, no one in the field is having any ERS management. It is deploy everywhere right now.
Absolutely.
For everyone. So, as Michael Lutker, what's happened to Sab? Sab's had a bit of a bad run through turn 6. He's lost 2 places to Michael Lutker, and...
Oh!
I was going to say Smoke, but what's happened to Smoke? Smoke's had a bit of an error there.
Yeah, Smoke's had a torrid time at the minute, so I'm just going to have to go back to the leader of... ARL's moves up to 5th. Nojagash drops down to 6th. Tadeli drops down to 14. Sunboy moves up to 13. No, Tadeli, will you guys pick a position? At the moment, Sun Palmer will finish off in first and will start in first place in the Mexican Grand Prix. Speaker she will start in second. Ginger Tiger will start off in third. So Spud is very lucky, JP, because he dropped himself down to 4th. He dropped himself down to 4th place. Mad, to be fair.
Yeah, he's got away with that one a little bit. I think the restarts definitely spread everyone out a little bit more than we thought it would do. JP taking the drive of the day in terms of the sprint race. Yeah, that second restart, I think everyone was a little bit surprised Simon went at the same point as he did the last race.
Yeah.
And that caught everyone napping just a little bit.
Absolutely. And here are your sprint classification for the Realistic Performance League on the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. I could say it was by brought in partnership with gridfire.com. I will get it properly next time on that one, to be fair. So here's your sprint classification. Simon Palmer will start off in first, Speed Queen in second, Ginger Tiger third, so Spud, well done to him. After that penalty, he'd be absolutely delighted to finish off in 4th. ARL finishes off in 5th, Nigagash 6th, JP in 7th, Michael is in 8th, Sab in 9th, Smoke in 10th, O'Steven 11th, Keza 12th, Sunboy 13th, Today 14th, Rustman 15th, Tarak 16th, Melanade 17th. Well, Tarak, Melanade, and Joe Hamster, they're all going to be starting at the back of the grid because they've had the DNFs during that sprint. Wow. We've had three DNFs in the sprint. I'm gonna say this to you, JP. How many drivers do you think will survive in the feature?
I'd like to say more than 15, just purely because I think the sprint, for whatever reason, people push a lot harder in the sprint. Obviously, there's less fuel load, and it's sets your grid for the feature, so a lot of people probably push a little bit too hard in the sprint. So I want to say maybe 16 might finish the race, but I could be completely wrong, and it could be 13 or 12, so there's only one way of really finding that one out.
Well, considering we had a third of the race of safety cars, I would not be surprised if we go probably 10 or less than 10. Like, I would not be surprised. That's my prediction. I'm not going to be surprised. To be fair. So, if you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Will be a massive help to myself, Malc, and also to JBH for joining me tonight. Unfortunately, Tim cannot make it tonight due to personal reasons. Hopefully, he'll be back next week for round 11. But yeah, if you like what you see so far, please make sure you like, subscribe. We're aiming for at least 10 likes. Press that like button now if you like the stream. So, dry start. By the looks of things, no cloud in the air from what I could see. Maybe a little bit, but not as bad as yesterday's or slightly on the F2 point of view.
Yeah, and I think we've got to talk about, obviously, the latest update. Malc brought the ability to choose your tyre sets, whether you carry an extra set of mediums, or whether you carry an extra set of mediums and hards, or whether you stick to what the game used to always give you, which was just 4 sets of softs for qualifying, which you carried into the race. Because that now brings the ability, especially around here, for a 2-stop strategy, which I know from experience isn't that much more in terms of costing you time. It's only about 5 seconds difference, but you might be able to make that back up in terms of the grip and the pace you'll have on the running softer compounds all throughout the race.
Okay, so for what we've seen, obviously in the other leagues, they've had the 1-stop, and the undercut, we have seen a few times the undercut has worked out well, sometimes not if you're in the wet conditions itself, but from this perspective that we are seeing right here, right now, dry start, I'm hoping for a 2-stop because we like different strategies to kick in. But again, this is without mentioning of the safety cars. This is without mentioning about the safety cars at all. So, without safety car, I would like to see a 2-stop strategy to work because the tyre wear will be kept of what they've got from the start. They won't have any extras unless they've told me differently. That's what I've been, because they had some of the, if I remembered it right, from this season, there was a few of the drivers who had to pick their same tyre, not the same tyre that they finished on, but like they used a bit of the tyre wear from last time, like the mediums, and they had to pit really early to go on the hards in the later stint. But we'll have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. Reed says, oh yeah, some drivers have used up their softs in the sprint. I always forget that isn't an infinite supply of tyres in these games. That's a good question, actually. Do you think in the sprints and feature they should have extra tyre wear like it did in the qualifying? Like if you was outside the top 10, you get extra tyre, or the top 10, that you get an extra tyre for the qualifying itself, or do you think that's a little bit of a difference? Not applicable to these guys at the minute.
Well, I mean, I've not done many sprint races on this game, so I'm not quite sure in terms of how the tyres work, because I suspect what the game would do would reallocate a couple of sets of tyres that would normally use in your practices. So it wouldn't surprise me if your sprint race tyres come from your FP2 selection per se. Yeah. So you have a set of softs or mediums almost reserved for that sprint race. So I don't think it really affects too much in terms of what tyres they're going to have. I think because you're still going to have your 4 sets for qualifying, that would carry into the race still. I'm pretty certain the sprint tyres just get reserved differently and are basically used as your FP. What your FP2 would have been is what your sprint is, basically what your sprint is, so you don't lose any tyres as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that plans out. We've got a few seconds left. You did that perfectly, JP. Let's go for the feature race. 36 laps. Straight in, no formation lap. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. And we are go! Who's at the grey start? Who has had the grey start? Saab drops down. Oh, Steven drops down. It looks like some boy has dropped himself like a domino effect. Today at the back. IRL drops down again a few positions. Nitrogas drops down. Simon Palmer holds on. Can Speed Queen make the move? No, she can't. Oh, what's happened to Speed Queen? She lost the momentum at the first corner and now could lose out to Spud. JP 91959 as it moves up to 4th. JP.
Near at the back, I think it was Keza, Sab, Michael Looker 3 wide through turns 2 and 3.
Oh my God!
Michael Looker, the one who wins and gets into 9th place in the end. Sir Spud up to 4th, Stephen up to 14th. There is moves everywhere. JP and Sir Spud still battling side by side, and I think JP's just about got the place back. But once again, a chaotic first half lap, and positions changing everywhere. And Russman now overtaking Stephen.
Yeah, so that's a good moves from. I tried to catch up to which ones you was watching there, mate, to be fair, but I had to stick to one of the battles that we were seeing at the minute. Now, Smoke trying to close the gap onto Spud for 5th. JP still holding on in 4th. Tarak moves up to 15th. Stephen drops down to 16th. They're going through the baseball ground section now. Simon Palmer needs to get a good start. Ginger Tiger on the hard tyres moves up to 2nd, so crucial points at this stage. Crucial points. So Spud goes upside to the bed moment on that Red Bull car that will give you some wings. Moments itself. JP drops down to 5th. But Smoke, the former champion, is trying to put the pressure on those soft tyres, which I'm very surprised that some people gambled on those softs, to be fair. JP.
Yeah, only Smoke gambled at the start, so possibly a 2-stop working from there. 3 drivers in the pits for wing changes, which is Sab, Joe Hamster, Sunboy, and that's really ruined Sab's strategy because he started on the hard compound of tyre. So that's really ruined his strategy in reality. But yeah, all 3 of them in for new front wings. Meanwhile, I think Michael Lutker's quite close to ARL. As I say that, they come out of turn 6 and Michael Lutker just doesn't quite get the traction down. But Smoke really needs to start utilising these softs just a little bit more, especially if he is planning on doing that 2-stop strategy.
Yeah, he's trying to use that to be effective, and they need that DRS as soon as possible, but that soft's going to have to make it use now. They're going through the baseball ground section. Look at Smoke. Smoke's trying to make the move, causing JP to make a little bit of a mistake, but can't do anything about it at the minute. Down the last corner, Simon Palmer, fastest lap of the race, 1:20.876. Here we go. Advantage softs for Smoke. Oh my God! Look at that slipstream down the straight. He's saying, well, thank you very much. I'll take that into 5th place, JP.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit more than slipstream from that pace difference. Possibly a bit more electrical usage from Smoke, because he knows how crucial these opening laps are, especially with the grip difference with the softs. He knows it's his best chance to make overtakes. Meanwhile, I must admit, Ginger Tiger at the front, doing well on those hard compound tyres, still just about a second behind Simon Palmer, as I think Tadeli's coming in the pits, which is a shame for him.
Yeah, I mean, Ginger Tiger has done really well at the minute, to be fair, so let's see. Remember, in F2, Simon Palmer and Ginger Tiger, they were battling out between them two on the F2 race, so I'll not be surprised in them two having another scrap heap challenge moments in this scene. But it looks like Smoke has got a chance with that DRS coming up soon to Spud, who will be a sitting duck to possibly 1 or 2. Look at that! It's like the Spud train on that Red Bull car. Hopefully there'll be no choo-choo moments. And now Smoke is now putting the pressure on. Now he should have the DRS. The DRS should be active now. And using that ERS to be effective. He's got no ERS actually. He tried to make that move, and he's saying, well, thank you very much, Spud. I will take that position, and you can have it back sooner rather than later. Tarak moves up to 12th, JP.
Yeah, nicely done by Smoke. I think Sir Spud knows there's no point fighting that one at the moment. He's not on a fast tyre, Smoke is, so smart driving from the Red Bull. However, now he's going to have JP behind, who he will want to keep behind, because obviously JP on the hard compound, he's not really going to want to let a car go in front of him on the slower compound, so it'll be interesting to see how hard Sir Spud fights this one compared to Smoke. Yeah,
well, he needs to use all of his experience of so much, since he has, remember, Sir Spud is one of the old founder members of the Invictus Racing League, so I'll not be surprised if he gambles.
Now he picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple infringements.
So that's a commentator's...
add to his worry.
Yeah, so that's a commentator's curse. So I'm blaming you, sorry, for that one, JP. Wink, wink. Moments as well. JP's going to have a word with me after, to be fair, after this. So Nitrogash holding on for dear life in 7th, ARL in 8th, and look at that, there's a train going on. Looks like Michael and Keza are going to have a bit of a scrap heap challenge side by side. Today's out and lost it. I think we might have a safety car.
Safety car period. That's not, well, I mean, we did see an off there in F3, but that's not a usual place to lose the car out of 6. It does mean he's just lit the rears up. I mean, he is on the hards. He's only done one up on the hards, meaning those tyres probably not up to full temperature, and that's why he's gone round. Probably just put a bit too much throttle in on cold hard tyres, which, as probably even you know, Malc, doesn't end well.
Absolutely not, and unfortunately for Danelli, he is the first casualty of the feature race to be out on the Mexican Grand Prix. Rain says, kudos to Smoke for trying to get track position and getting away from this train on the softs. It was beneficial. He had to do something different, to be fair, but I think he'll have to go for the hards next time. But I'll be interested to see when he's actually going to pit from those softs, to be fair, JP.
Well, if he's going to stop, it would have been around lap 8 to 10.
Okay.
And now, because the optimal strategy that the game says to you is basically eight laps on the soft tyre, and then a mixture of I think it's 14 and 14 on 2 sets of mediums. Now, so you can reverse that, start on the mediums, go 2 sets of mediums and soft at the end, or you can have a medium, then a soft, then a medium. It's up to you which way you want to put it around. But the more interesting thing is that obviously no one yet on the medium thinks that they can get the hards to the end, because this would be a very good opportunity for anyone to take a gamble on those mediums and do a little bit like Bruce done in F3 in Bahrain at the start of the season. Come in, get the hards on early, and basically take that free pit stop. And you also have a pit stop on everyone at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. I do remember that race, actually.
Also, Joe Hamster's actually taken that flyer.
So, well, to be fair, Joe Hamster, he did say before this week he was a big fan of the Mexican Grand Prix. He crashed out near the end of the F3. He crashed out in the sprint race. I'm not commentator's curse on Joe Hamster because he would kill me after the stream itself, but Joe Hamster needs to do something out of the ordinary. But 30 laps, or possibly, I think if the safety car comes in probably about on between lap 20 to 26, then pit for the fresh tyres. If there's no more safety car, 30 laps on the hards, bit of a push, I think.
It's doable. I'm pretty certain if the medium tyres can do about 18 to 20 laps, and that's really and you're only really pitting at that point because their performance is under what you probably want it to be. So in terms of tyre life, I think the hards may well be able to do 30 laps for Joe Hamster there, and obviously at the moment he's not really using them. So he's not really putting any wear into them. He is trying to catch up to the train, but obviously there is less wear involved. So I think it's for Joe. He's at the back at the moment. It's worth a shot here. It's absolutely worth a shot.
Yeah.
And he also has that option to go soft at the end should he want to.
Okay. Fair. I mean, whoever gambles on it, like some boy and Joe Hamster have done, fair play to them. I am not doubting them at all at this stage, because they need, as I said, they need to do something completely different in this race, because they can't do anything about it at the minute until they catch up to the pack, which they are nearly there anyway. So I would not be surprised if the safety car comes in on this lap, depending on where some boy is at the minute. Oh yeah, it's just coming up to the last few corners down the straight. Yeah, so we will have the safety car in this lap.
I think we may get one more, because by the time the safety car reaches, that's basically, generally speaking, the safety car we should have that notification at the end of sector 2 really,
Yeah.
which is just after this S section, and I'm not quite sure they're going to be up to the train by then. So it'll be. I think we may end up with
Might be a
one
late.
more. Although
Maybe
I
a
say
late.
that,
Maybe a late
the safety car is starting to pull away from Simon, but I don't know if that's just Simon trying to warm up the tyres.
I would not be surprised if the safety car comes in. Yeah, that is shocking. That is shocking. That is, yeah, that is absolute shock. Last minute, and now Simon Palmer he can't do what he did the last few times and sprint through the baseball ground section. He needs to get a good start. Look at Ginger Psycho. He's not messing about. Oh, Simon Palmer's caught him red-handed. Caught him napping. I couldn't say the words there. Speed Queen has got the chance to hold on, but looks like Smoke is made the move into third, and he has made the move onto Speed Queen. But there's quite a few positions. So Spudge trying to close the gap onto JP. Will he try and make the move? No, he won't. He will not make the move just yet. But Smoke on those softs is a good opportunity. Russman drops down and Russman moves back up. No, Russman moves. Oh my god, I do not know what position they're in. They're teasing. They're absolutely teasing. Nitrogash is going side by side. Nearly going side by side with Spud in 6th place. What a restart at the minute, JP.
Yeah, and Russman round the outside of turn 4, inside for turn 5. He's on the inside for 6th. Tarak has to give this one up now.
Oh!
Surely, yes he does. And yeah, Russman up to 12th. That's a phenomenal battle between the pair. And just like the race start, Malc, this is absolutely insane. And so Spud, right on the back of JP, coming out of the S's in a big little bit of a slide for the Red Bull.
Yeah, well, Nitrogash is not messing about. He wants to make this move done and quickly. But IRL's also just behind the former champion of the Realistic Performance League. They're trying everything they can to put the pressure on as much as possible. Nitrogash down the straight, but it looks like Spud is eager to make that move. Look at him, he's right close. And he will have the advantage of the DRS. Side by side, 2 in a bed moment. 2 in a bed moment, just sort of Spud. He's already got that penalty, so he needs to get rid of that. Or try and get that gap as quickly as possible. But what a move there from Spud. Fantastic overtake there. JP, sorry. Said Tim. Sorry.
Yeah, nicely done on the straights. Obviously no DRS for another lap yet. And they won't get DRS on the main straight next time round either. So it's a good time to do it, to be able to try and pull away. Versus Spud. He is on those mediums as well, which should help him just a touch. But Smoke gradually closing in on Ginger. I was expecting him to be on him quite quickly, because obviously the warm-up process between the hard and the soft should have been a lot better for Smoke. So
yeah.
I'm interested to see how much he's actually going to be able to reel that Haas in at the moment. But everyone else, it looks like we're gradually starting to settle into a rhythm now.
Yeah, absolutely. I do apologise. You know, you get that feeling of like the DRS trying to make that move. The Spud had that fantastic.
Tarak and Russman side by side once again out of the S section, down towards turn 12. Tarak looking to the outside, not going to do it this time around.
Not yet anyway, but he's still a 10th behind. Russman trying to hold on, but DRS is now enabled So this is where everything could happen. Speed Queen could have the chance to close the gap on the Smoke, but still the battle between Tarak and Russman, because there's a trade going on.
I think O'Steven had a better exit than Tarak at that final corner. I think O'Steven's got a better chance of overtaking Tarak than Tarak does on Russman. Not quite going to work though, as they're all not quite close enough. And it's just this gaggle of about 6 cars fighting over 12th place right now.
Absolutely. Tarak is now he made a mistake down on the first few corners, but trying to make the move onto Russman. Cannot do anything about it with the DRS. And tell you what, they're trying everything they can, but nothing at the moment, JP.
Not yet. Joe Hamster has overtaken Sab in all the chaos, so he's up into 15th in the Alpine, which is good signs to see for him. Michael Look in a bit of a train here behind JP. You've got JP, Nitrogash, ARL, Michael Look, Keza, and Melanade all in one line, and Russman again has Tarak looking for a move, but Tarak's still not close enough to actually get the lunge in, and at least not in a safe way anyway.
Not in a safe way at the minute, but it looks like ARL is struggling at the last few corners, and now Michael Hopefully, no, Michael, no moments, but hopefully, yes, Michael, yes! 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 Make the move! Overtake! Brilliant stuff with the DRS. And use it effectively.
And Speed Queen gets past Smoke in turn 1 with the DRS. I think those softs, they're 10 laps old. Yes, we've had 2 laps of safety car, but it's about the right time that they're going to drop off now. So I think Smoke is about to have a little bit of a tough time. But yeah, nice move from Speed Queen, just up the inside, made sure she was ahead on the corner entry, and job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my days, IRL and Keza having a little bit of moments. Looks like IRL's car is having a little bit of technical faults at the minute. But oh, Keza! Round the outside! Overtaken beautifully! Fantastic stuff. That was a good move. Did you see that, JP?
I caught the tail end of it. That's not normally a place you tend to overtake around, but he had so much a lot better traction out of 6. It just enabled him to get that line. But ARL, the question is, Keza's just fringing on that 1 second against Michael looking for DRS. I think he's going to get it just about at 8/10, but Keza was flirting with not having any DRS and allowing ARL a chance back in. But ARL slow out the last corner, Malc, and here comes Melanade.
Yeah, Melanade is not messed about and making the move. I don't know what's happened to ARL. I don't know if there's tyre wear issues or what, but I'll be very surprised if there's tyre wear issues. But JP's moved several to 5th, so Spud drops down to 6th. But question for you actually, JP, while you're watching the racing itself, do you think Smoke should have pitted during that safety car when that opportunity was there, or do you think he was right to gamble on those softs at the time?
The biggest problem pitting under the safety car, obviously, especially that early, you're going to lose a lot of track position, and track position is quite a key element around Mexico.
Yeah.
As Joe Hamster and Stephen are having a good little fight, and I think someone's gone. It's some boys actually had a bit of a moment out of 5. But back to Smoke. Yeah, it's a hard one because the safety car was out technically on lap 5, but obviously they'd all gone past the safety car at that point. So I think he was right to probably carry on to try and get some sab, I think.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen has spun. Stephen has spun through the S's. He lost the traction completely on that point. So, unfortunately for Stephen, he'll drop himself down to the back of the grid. But I do apologise, JP. Carry on.
Smoke in the pits now.
Oh, okay.
So, I think Smoke was looking to probably go to lap 10 in normal racing conditions. I think he's probably coming maybe a lap or two too late, really. But yeah, I think he was correct to carry on at the race restart, because you start to try and build a bit of a gap to those behind your immediate rivals there. But unfortunately, he's going to be stuck behind O'Stephen, who we know fights quite a lot regardless who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're watching that, the battle between Michael and Keza for 7th and 8th, respectively. And Melanade, or Melanado is what we call him in F3, he's been absolutely phenomenal to try and close the gap in that Mercedes car. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Simon Palmer, we've not mentioned about him at all during this race, but he's already 2 seconds ahead of Ginger Tiger, JP.
Yeah, not surprising, that's for certain. Obviously, the hard tyre is a very horrible tyre to really go around here. As we see, potential looks. Melanade looking down the inside of Keza, not quite working. Michael Looker all over the back of Nitro Gash. And Nitro, no DRS.
Oh!
Is he going to have no DRS? Yeah, no DRS for the McLaren. So look out for the Haas going past in a straight line. And possibly Keza or Melanade looking to follow. Yeah,
absolutely. Here we go. Chances galore now. Tarakis goes into the pits now. 13 laps already on those hards. That's a bit of a shock. Nigel Gash is a city duck. He's a city duck, and he could lose out to another position to Keza, but not just yet. Nitro needs to push. Tarak is out. Tarak is out of the race, retired in the pits. But here, look at Michael lost the back end and brought Nitro. Oh my God, go to a bad moment with the 2 McLarens. Oh my days, that was close. That was close. Any more, Keza? If Keza made that move and Nitro carried on to the right, to his right hand side, that would have been game over for the 2 McLarens. JP.
Yeah, and the biggest thing to remember here is even though they're both McLarens, they're not actually teammates in this league.
Correct.
So
Correct.
for anyone wondering why are teammates fighting so hard, that's because they're not actually teammates at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But all that battling though has allowed Michael Lutka to get away.
It
and
has.
Once again, Nitro finds himself with no DRS.
Yeah, so he's going to be under a sitting duck again with a McLaren and now a Mercedes to hold on as well. Here we go. Let's see if Nitro can try and hold on, but we're going to watch it from Melanade's point of view so we can have a great view what this Mercedes can try and do in that McLaren. Look at that! Look at that Mercedes! Speedy Gonzalez moment! Oh my god! Oh, I tell you what. Guess I say, well, thank you very much. I'll take that. Nitro.
Melonade round the outside of Nitro. He's going to have the inside for 2. They're going to stay side by side for 3, and there's contact. Contact between Melonade and Nitro Gash. Ooh. I think, personally, from that perspective, from Melonade, I don't know whether I don't think he had enough room while Nitro Gash was trying to keep on that inside line. But I don't know if you saw a good view from that one, to be fair. It looked like from the outside shot, Nitro bounced off the curb a little bit and it's just made the car understeer. Honestly, Melanie was about as far out as you really want to go in that situation.
Okay.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Nitro's got a bit of a bad kick off the curb there, which has made the car understeer into the rear corner. But Joe Hamster has Sab looking for a move, whilst Joe's looking for a move on Russman as well. So this is a nice little three-way battle for 9th place at the moment, and Sunboy isn't too far behind, but he is on the hard compound.
Yeah, he's not too far away, but Joe Amster starting off. Looks like Michael and Keza, they have both pitted now, which I would guess they'll go on the hard tyres. And here we go, can the Red Bull fly, or will they struggle with Joe? Look at Joe! Get in! No!
Contact.
That's
not ideal.
That is not ideal. Oh my god, look at Joe Amster. He's really going for it. He really is going for it. Look, this is unbelievable battles.
That is a fantastic recovery from Joe.
Oh,
he's almost gone into the back of Sab. But that is a fantastic recovery from Joe. I mean, I think you'll definitely feel he got very much pinched by the Aston Martin or Russman there.
That was lucky.
I think he's going to have to make sure he's not too hot under the collar here for Joe. You don't want that red mist descending too much. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. But Sab in a nice position in 8th right now. He's looking at the back of Russman. He's going to have DRS down to turn 12.
Here we go. They're going to the baseball ground section now. And can they try and put the pressure on Sab? Sab with that advantage on the DRS, same with Jones and Sunboy, but Simon Palmer from the top 3 has gambled to go into the hard tyres now and doing the undercuts. I think, well, safe undercut for some of the drivers who already started off on those medium tyres. But here we go. Can Sab put the pressure on? To the bed moment, and made the move swell to 6. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, lovely and early to complete that one. Nitro in the pits as well. I mean, the crucial thing here, Malc, is Smoke. He's in 11th. He's only 4 seconds off Simon Pond, but he's ahead of the likes of Michael Lutka and Keza, which is good news for him because he now needs to extend that gap, because I do believe he's going to be pitting in again for either another set of mediums or a set of softs, depending on how far he can take this set of tyres.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying you've got the same setup as Smoke or the same strategy of what happened in this race, but if you were Smoke now on those medium tyres, what lap would you recommend to go up to try and get that advantage? Yellow flag set to 2 at this stage.
It's Melonade. He's round at the end of the S's.
Oh, Melonade, he's going to be under a lot of pressure, and he's already lost like a domino effect, to be fair. Now, Joe is now putting the pressure on. Still yellow flags. I'm not sure what's happened. It looks like Melonade's dropped himself all the way down to the back, nearly to the back of the grid.
He spun at the exit of the S's. I think he's probably taken a lot of curb, and he's got on my screen very, very weird. He's got 2 end plates, but no actual main plane on the wing. which is a very strange thing, but I suspect he doesn't have a front wing anymore.
Yeah, so I think that's the good terminology on that one, to be fair, JP. To be fair, that is what we needed.
Into the pitch.
So he's going to the pits. Yeah, he's going to the pits. I'll be very surprised to be carried on with no front wing, to be fair, but that would be impressive if he kept going and was quicker without front wing itself. So Russman is lost out to Joe Amster in 5th place. Sunboy, but as I said, sorry, while you was watching that battle, when do you think Smoke in that battle with the mediums try and pit again will be the best way? Which lap do you think he'll pit at this stage?
I mean, he came in lap 12. I would suspect he wants to go to lap 26 to 28 and chuck on the softs, I suspect, if he is going to pit again. Otherwise, I think it's doable taking the mediums that long, 24 laps, but they are going to be very much destroyed at the end. So, yeah, I'd say about 26 to 28, chuck on the softs, and basically go quick at the end would be which would be where my thought pattern would be right now.
We have to wait and see how everything plans out. Looks like Spud is going himself into the pits now for his stint on the hards. So just wait and see where he's going to drop. He's going to try and get a good position. He will lose out those penalty. Hopefully he'll get rid of it at the end of the session. If you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes. Will be a massive help to myself, Malc, and JBH for joining me tonight. And also for the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel. And now Stephen makes the move onto Spud, who just come out of the pits. And that's crucial for Stephen.
Yeah,
Not crucial.
Keza down the inside as well of turn 4. Sorry, Malc. The McLaren down the inside of Sir Spud, taking the opportunistic move. Obviously, Sir Spud still has to get those tyres up to temperature, so he's not going to have a lot of grip.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
just displayed there.
Yes, and just displayed. See, this is why you need to be here all the time as the analyst all the time, JP, because you know when it's going to kick off now and again. Perfect, absolutely perfect, to be fair. Keza getting close onto O'Stephen for 11th place, and he's trying to put the pressure on as much as possible. But it looks like IRL's made the move onto Spud. I don't know what's happening to Spud. I don't know if, as you said, it might be the cold tyres, probably, but hopefully not.
Yeah, it looks like it's just the tyre warm-up. He doesn't look confident in the car at all during this lap, which would say to me he's just not got those tyres up to temperature yet, which is very understandable with the hards. Sunboy and Russman side by side through turns 1, 2 and 3, the two Aston Martin, should I say. And now Russman's going to get overtaken by Simon Palmer, who is effectively the net race leader. And he's going to look around the outside Sunboy. He's got to be careful of Simon, because he does have something to lose compared to the Astons.
Yeah, absolutely. While you was watching that, I was watching the battle between Keza, made the move perfectly, absolutely, to be fair. It was absolutely beautiful move. While you was watching that battle, I just missed out on the battle that you was watching between Sunboy Russman and Simon Palmer. But Simon Palmer, who's a man who's won his first ever F2 race this season, again, I can't see, at the moment, everyone else will be pitting next time, unless... I mean, Joe Amster has been on 15 laps already, and he did gamble on lap 6. So JP is going himself into the pits now, doing 20 laps already on those hards. So mad seems to be fair, but fair play to Joe.
We're saying all these numbers like Joe Hamster's 16 laps on hards. Speed Queen's done 20 laps on her set of mediums.
Yeah, I told you, she's very, very good. She's absolutely outstanding. Unbelievable with time management. She could go, those mediums could go probably about 25, 26 laps. I would not be surprised. And she could get those softs probably about an extra 5 laps more than what everyone else is doing, because she's got the best time management on her setup. And that is crucial. If Speed Queen wins tonight, this will be an absolute monumentous achievement. But remember, I think it's 21 to 22 seconds the pit stop. Correct me if I'm wrong, JP, with the pit stop.
It's around the 22-second mark for Mexico. So at the moment, she goes about 16 and a half. She come out about 5.5-ish seconds behind Simon at present. And the problem is she'll be constantly losing time right now because of the tyre age difference right now. Even though Simon's on the harder compound, those tyres will probably be in slightly better grip phase than Speed Queen's. As I think ARL sort of spud out a bit about, and Ginger Tiger is going around the outside of Russman through turn 12.
What a move, actually. That's a fantastic move from Ginger Tiger. But earlier on, there was a bit of contact between Ginger Tiger and Russman, who forced Russman off track through the S's. So I would not be surprised if he had a warning, Russman. But he had nothing to do. He's got 20 laps already on those hard tyres. And he's going to the pits. He's not risking it for a biscuit, shall we say, to be fair. So Joe Hamster, 15.4 seconds now between himself and Speed Queen in first place. I will not be surprised if she goes for the softs later on, to be fair.
Yeah, knowing Speed Queen, it wouldn't surprise me either. She knows how good she is on tyres and tyre wear. I mean, even in that Williams, which in a realistic performance world is really not very nice to drive at times.
Absolutely. I mean, people criticise on the car, like I've been allocated to that car. People say, well, it's been unfair for Malc because, you know, he couldn't be able to drive that car because it will struggle. But at the same time, you've been put on that car because you are the quickest driver. You're either in F1 or you're one of the quickest drivers in this league, and deserved. And it's nothing against the driver at all. It's more of their pace and try and keep it as close to the other drivers who are not so confident with the traction or not so confident with keeping up with the other cars if it was an equal performance, shall we say.
Yeah, and Ginger Tiger about to make a move on Sunboy, I think, with the DRS. He's been shaping up a move for the last half lap in the Haas, and this should be quite easy, although I think Sunboy fighting back a little bit.
The two
harvesting energy.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Simon Palmer and Joe Hamster wheel bagging moments. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, JP. I'm losing the plot, shall we say. But yeah, the two Alpines, they had wheel banging moments at the first few corners, and Ginger Tiger made the move onto Sunboy. That's crucial for Ginger Tiger. But now he's going to be chasing Simon Palmer, who's on the hard tyres, while Ginger Tiger's on the mediums as well. So that'll be interesting when Joe Hamster if he does finally pit. But big question marks, should we say?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Joe Hamster pits for some softs. I think he's going to go backwards in a very big hurry otherwise. I think if he pits for softs, he's got a chance of getting some time and some positions back, but only he will know that in what he is capable of. But Smoke, he's up to 6th. He's looking on the back of Sunboy. And remember, Sunboy still has to pit, so this is genuinely for position. Obviously, Smoke, we think, is going to make another pit stop, but we're not quite sure yet. I mean, based on what Speed Queen's doing on a set of mediums, I'm starting to wonder if Smoke will come in the pits, because quite clearly the mediums do last.
Well, especially if you've got Speed Queen set up, shall we say. That is impressive. Absolutely impressive. And Reens agrees with us. Speed Queen going for softs then, that is some great tyre saving. I told you, if you follow Speed Queen with the tyre wear strategy, she will do something totally different to what everyone else does. And that is impressive stuff as well. So, and Smoke is defying all the odds. I think, do you agree? Do you think a safety car will definitely help him at this stage, or do you think he should wait for a little bit longer and then kick in for the pit stop strategy if he does come in at this stage?
I think a safety car helps almost. I think the beneficiary there would actually be Joe Hamster. In all reality,
well, yeah, absolutely.
At the moment, it would help Smoke, but yeah, because it gets a 3-second penalty. It'd be interesting. Speed Queen finally in the pits. I'm going to have a look and report back what tyre she goes on. I think it'll be softs. It is the soft compound tyre. And so Speed Queen going for a bit of charge. It's a slow pit stop though. I know, it's just the game not really getting on with it.
Yeah, so Speed Queen will lose out quite a few positions. Oh, crash! Crash! Crash at the last corner! Keza has lost the front wing. He has lost himself the front wing. But that will definitely have to be checked by stewards. I could not remember who the other driver was that caught at that point, but Keza lost out. Sorry.
Michael Looker, the other driver involved in that. I'm not quite sure, Mark, what happened, but Michael Looker was the one who had spun and caused the yellow, end up being the yellow flag effectively, but no safety car required this time around, which is will be good to see, just to keep the racing a good flow. But one thing to note and keep an eye on: Ginger Tiger now just 2.3 behind Simon Palmer, so he is catching the leader, but he does have to get past Joe Hamster first.
Well, Joe Hamster needs to hold on. Come on! Come on! Ginger Tiger not loses. Joe Hamster loses out to second place to Ginger Tiger for second place. And tell you what, can Joe hold on? Can Joe hold on? That's a big question of it all. But we'll have to wait and see how everything. He's praying for the safety car. He's praying. He's telling one of the drivers to do something bad to try and get the safety car out. He can't do anything about it, but he's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, he's got his side by side, and he makes the move round the outside. Brilliant, fantastic overtake, brilliant.
That's going to infuriate Ginger Tiger, because Joe will get a second helping of DRS down the next straight, because there's only one detection point for the first two zones. Meanwhile, ARL is on the back of O'Stephen up towards turn 1 with DRS. He's going to go to the inside, and that should be move done. Yeah, O'Stephen unable to keep it around the outside there. So ARL up into 8th. O'Stephen still has to pit Malc. He's on 25 lap old hard tyres.
I think he's just gambling. He's got no other choice. He's trying something different that no one else has been doing. I mean, he's trying to do it. Same with Joe Hamster. They're trying to go all the way. I think they're going to try and go all the way to the end, unless there's a pit stop, or sorry, the safety car to kick in. Lee says Michael lost it on his own, and Keza had nowhere to go. So that's what's happened between Keza and Michael. So unfortunately for Keza, he had to pit with no front wing, and I feel bad for Keza, because every race he keeps saying he wants to try and do a very good race, but then at the same time he's getting outdone by either mistakes from other drivers, or either mistakes from himself, which has caused him to drop himself down a couple of positions. It's mad. But Joe's moved. What is going on? What is going on? Joe's saying, look, you're not giving up. I am causing Ginger Tiger a massive headache, and Ginger Tiger's now trying to make the move. He will have the slipstream, but Joe still got that DRS and made it perfect for him. And I tell you what, Smoke and Speed Queen on the inside. Oh, you got to be careful not to cause any havoc. Moments. Oh, fair play, Speed Queen. I thought she was going to gamble to go and make the move on the inside, but what a moment of driving from Joe, Ginger, Smoke and Speed Queen. JP.
Yeah, I must admit, Ginger, I wouldn't have said he's really playing this too smartly, and it's not a massive dig at him. This time, this is smarter from Ginger Tiger now. This is what I was expecting him to do the first time around, but he hasn't done the last 2 laps. Don't overtake through that third DRS zone. Keep the DRS for the main straight, you get double dose, and he'll clear the Alpine. This has cost him the best part of 2 seconds.
Well, absolutely.
For Ginger Tiger.
Well, absolutely. And look at Joe. He's got enough ERS. I think he's got no more ERS now. Joe's holding on. What? Joe is holding on. Come on, Joe. Come on, hold on. Hold on for your dear life.
Speed Queen down the inside of Smoke almost.
Get in!
Around the outside of turn 2 and inside for 3. Job done for the Williams.
Get in there! Oh, brilliant! Fantastic! Oh, this is why I love the Performance League. You never know what's going to happen next. Oh, brilliant!
It looked like in the background JP got past Sunboy for 6th.
He did.
Russman is now ahead of Michael Lutker in 10th. So he's in the top 10. All the while, Joe Hamster is making Ginger Tiger an extremely unhappy customer today. He's going to be able to draw the back of that Alpine from memory.
Absolutely. Look at this. Joe's saving his ERS. He's saving his ERS for this moment. Ginger Tiger is really fuming. I will not be in Ginger Tiger's shoes at the minute. I think he's going to be causing havoc if he does get into the top 3. At this stage, he'll probably be cursing at Joe for the last few laps, because that's cost him dearly to close the gap to Simon Palmer. and also lose that on the tyre wear strategy. Can Joe hold on again? If he can, fantastic.
That Williams is a very slippery car. That Alpine's a very slippery car down the straight. That's not got very much wing on it, I can tell you that much. Because you can tell Joe is losing throughout corners, but down that straight, he is an absolute rocket ship.
Absolutely. It's got that extra fuel of pushing that car to the limit. And look at Ginger Tiger, he's trying everything he can. But look at this, Speed Queen is getting close. This is brilliant opportunity for Speed Queen. And if she can make the move on to Ginger Tiger, if Speed Queen can get within the second, perfect, fantastic. But Joe Amster, he is my main man at the minute. Oh no! Don't risk it for a biscuit, Ginger. You need to hold on if you want to make this move done. Look at Speed Queen. Look at Speed Queen. Oh my god, we could have a 3 to bed. Come on! We could have a 3 to bed moment! Oh, JP!
Speed Queen playing this very sensibly. She doesn't want to make any rash decisions right now. She knows she's going to have DRS. And it seems like Ginger's car not as quick in a straight line as Joe Hamster's, but he's got a better run here. He's a lot closer. He'll have the DRS. This time, surely the Haas is going to get the move done.
I don't know.
Got the inside. The Alpine's out dragging him without DRS. This is insane.
Ginger Tiger's ERS is gone. Ginger Tiger's ERS is completely empty. That's why he can't make the move onto Joe Amster. That's why he's struggling.
No one's got any ERS, Malc. I think, not to give too much away, but pretty much everyone is maxing out their ERS usage, and everyone's pretty much in harvesting mode. So, yeah, that is an extremely fast Alpine down the straight.
Well, also, but look, you got a close Williams, a struggling Haas who cannot get past a fast Alpine car. What is going on? What world are we in? We're in the Invictus Racing League world. Fantastic! Fantastic stuff. Oh! Don't you dare make the move yet. Use it on that DRS. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! This is mad. This is mad. This is brilliant.
Left, right, every direction, looking for a space, looking for a gap. And one that's there, but about 15 metres too much in front.
Simon Palmer is going to thank Joe Amster for this after this race. Whatever happens. Oh my god, look at Speed Queen. Come on! Come on! You want to move? You're going to do it now! They're struggling with DRS. Come on! This is most frustrating. They want to try and make the move done as quickly as possible. But oh my god, we got about 5 cars. Can you imagine if Joe was leading this race? JP, can you imagine the scenes that would have been in this race?
Yeah, that would have been a fairly ridiculous. I think Simon Palmer probably running a similar setup to Joe, because he made this move on Joe earlier look very simple compared to what everyone else is. But then there was a bit more ERS. I mean, I must admit, not giving too much away, Joe Hamster has done a better job with his ERS management. Not by a lot, but it just seems like enough right now to be able to keep fending off these attacks. And here comes Ginger Tiger once again through the S's, looking for any sort of gap, trying to catch Joe off guard. That just seems to be the only way he's going to get past, is by overtaking him in the corner that he's just not going to expect.
I don't know how Joe's holding on. I really don't know, but this is a stellar achievement. 26 laps, you heard that right. 26 laps already on those hard tyres. And Ginger Tiger, right, he's got a better exit now. He's got to make this move. But he's got no ERS. He's got no ERS. Oh my god.
Here comes the Alpine speed by the looks of it. A tap of ERS from Joe just to make sure. And once again, Ginger Tiger is left very much annoyed.
I'm speechless. I really am oh my god, Speed Queen. Speed Queen's got the chance, but can't make the move yet. If Speed Queen makes the move, can she try and make the move? No, she's just trying to play it safe. Joe, like I said, Simon Palmer will be absolutely thanking Joe Amster, whatever happens tonight, because Ginger Tiger will be absolutely fuming. Same possibly with Speed Queen, because you think Speed Queen could have the opportunity to get the move. But remember, the tyre wear She's nearly at that limiter with the softs. She's near that limiter, but she will have enough to hold on anyway because she's good with the time management. Oh my god. Oh my days. It looks like the DRS is trying to put on. Oh, that was close.
Speed Queen almost looking around the outside of Ginger Tiger. I think Speed Queen would have a better chance than Ginger down against Joe down the main straight, but I don't think it's going to be much better chances. I say she's reaching. Oh my word, Ginger Tiger sliding it out of the last corner. That's going to make sure he definitely doesn't get a chance into the first corner this time around. But yeah, Speed Queen reaching the limits of what any normal person's tyre wear limits would be. Unfortunately, hers is about 40 laps on every tyre. So yeah, I think she's going to be okay to the end here. But Ginger Tiger, I mean, it's going to be interesting if he he keeps this podium spot. I think the questions are going to be very interesting for the podium interviews. I mean, Simon Palmer's been handed down a silver platter. Michael Lutker-Russman, while in the meantime, are going side by side through turn 1, 2 and 3. Looks like Michael Lutker just going to get the grip. Is he? Not quite. And even though he has the DRS, he's going to look towards turn 4. Going to go down the inside. Russman keeps it around the outside. Almost contact, but nothing too major, I don't think. Big sideways moment for Russman. Up towards turn 6. They're still side by side. Malc through 6. The Aston Martin trying to fend off.
Yeah, try and fend off the Aston. Ginger Tiger. Oh, Joe Hamster's made a mistake, and he's lost the position. I think Ginger Tiger has got the. Oh no! No contact! Contact between Speed Queen and Joe Hamster. Oh my God! Speed Queen had the opportunity, but that will have to be looked at.
For the speed here, Malc. Look, wait for the DRS to open on that Alpine. If you think it's quick without DRS, let's see what it does with it.
Oh my God, what the hell? What the hell? Oh my days! What is going on? What is going on? What did we just see?
That car's going to have the nickname of the bullet train that you get in Japan, because that is insane. And now he's going to get a double dosing of DRS, just pull away down the next straight. Speed Queen in the meanwhile has retired to the pits, which is a shame because everyone scores points in this league, so it's a big shame that she decided to retire the car this late in the race.
To be fair though, I think it was because of that contact during the baseball ground section. That was caught on stream anyway, so I was not surprised at that, to be fair. JP is trying to close the gap onto Ginger Tiger. Ginger Tiger is still fuming at Joe Hamster. Fair play to Joe. Whatever happens tonight, Joe Hamster, you have been fantastic. But
and remember, he came from near the back of the grid.
Oh, of course.
So he's actually gone up 16 places, has Joe Hamster. 16 because he was the first to retire, so he started right at the back.
Nearish.
So 16 places he has gone up.
That's mad. That is insane. That Alpine is the bullet rocket fuel, whatever you want to call it. I don't know anymore. But that Alpine has been fantastic. I don't know what to say if these two are still in the top 3.
Flag sector 2. I think that's Sab who's gone round in the S's.
Yeah, it is.
But,
Sab.
No major issues. He's going to carry on. Still in 13th place.
So JP is trying to close the gap onto Ginger Tiger for 3rd place. Cannot do anything about it in a minute. Reed says, imagine the pressure at this point. Absolutely. Imagine the pressure at this point. Since when did NASA manufacture engines for Alpine? I do not know, mate, to be fair. JP, oh my God, JP. Oh, what the hell? Smoke has spun. Smoke has spun and completely lost it through the S's. And I will not be surprised if he loses his front wing. But Ginger Tiger, what is going on?
Joe Hamster's round. I didn't see the instant, but Joe Hamster round into the stadium. Now that could be a cause. That could be caused by multiple things. JP, some boys now around at the exit of the baseball stadium. So he's lost his front wing now.
So this is going.
It's all kicking off at the end.
Yeah, that'll have to be. I did not caught that on the stream, to be fair. Yeah, I didn't caught that, to be fair. So that'll have to be checked afterwards. But So mad
Yeah, I
scenes, to be
think
fair.
the stewards might be a little bit busy after this race, Malc. It's been definitely action-packed, is one way of describing it, I think.
Absolutely. ARL's getting close to Smoke for 5th. Yeah, ARL's trying to get themselves close to Smoke. I was surprised that, I mean, Smoke's car was completely gone with the front wing itself. We're on the final lap now. We're on the final lap. Looks like ARL's made the move into 5th place, but I have to go back into the leader, Bobby, of Simon Palmer. Simon Palmer, unbelievable drive. He's done exactly the same thing as what he did in F2. And I tell you what, fantastic stuff. Well done to Simon Palmer. That is really good stuff. Joe Amster finally got himself into 3rd place. JP drops down to 4th. Mad, to be fair. Absolutely mad. But Ginger Tiger will finish off in 2nd. And I will not be surprised if he gets a frustration kicking in. Because I think he lost out on that win because of that battle with Joe. And Joe Amster will finish off in 3rd and will be in the podium. 15 places. Finish off in the podium. JP.
Yeah, others coming through. It's close between Russman and Smoke, but Smoke did have a penalty attached to his name, so even though he crossed the line in 6th, he's going to be 8th in the end. So Spud comes through. Keza, he's had a bit of a difficult race, really, Keza. Stephen, I think Sab and Melanade, I think Sab's actually gone round in the S's again, so that puts him 15th and last runner. Stephen in 11th, Sunboy will come home in 12th, Melanade 13th, Nitro Cash 14th, and Sab down in 15th. I think he's had another spin on the exit of the S's as well. So Sab, it's not been a great race for him, but it's points in the bag, even though he's 15th, because everyone scores.
Absolutely. Even if you've had a tough day in the office, and as long as you get points at the back of the grid, he will have the opportunity to get some points for himself in the driver's standings as well as the constructors. So Nigel Cash moves up to 13th, Melanade 14th, Sab 15th, and what a mad race, to be fair. I really do not know what to say to the top 3, to be fair. So it's been crazy. That driver of the day has been to Joe Amster in the game. If you are watching the stream, who do you think's your driver of the day? Who would it be? I think Simon Palmer just stuck to his guns and just did a fantastic job. Joe Amster, from that 32 laps, and he proved everyone wrong. I thought he was going to pit, but unbelievable. And well done also to, like I said, Ginger Tiger will be fuming. We'll find out from his point of view in a moment or two. But yeah, I'm just speechless at the minute because we had the 2 LPs who had a bit of a scrappy challenge moments. Stuart says Nitro just getting too much contact this year, unfortunate or not. I do agree, but I'll mention that later on, Stu. Don't worry, I will mention it. Here are your race classification for the Invictus Racing League, the Realistic Performance League on the PlayStation platform, brought to you in partnership with Gridfire.com. See, I got that right, JP. Got that right this time. So here we go. Show you the race classification. Simon Palmer is your winner in 1st place. Ginger Tiger in 2nd. Joe Amster in 3rd. JP is in 4th. ARL 5th. Russman 6th. Michael 7th. Smoke 8th. Spud 9th. Keza 10th. Stephen 11th. Sunboy 12th. Nitrogash 13th. Melanade 14th. Sab 15th. Speed Queen, Tarak and Tadeli, they have all had the DNFs during that race. But just a recap for the ones who missed out on the sprint. Simon Palmer was in 1st. Speed Queen 2nd. Ginger Tiger 3rd. Spud 4th. ARL 5th. Nitrogash 6th. JP, Michael, Sab, Smoke, Stephen, Keza, Sunboy, Tadeli, Russman, Tarak, Melanade, and Joe Amster. They were all in those positions. Try and do it that quick. That was mad. To be fair, that was mad. But yeah, that is your positions for the race and also for the sprint if you've just missed out on those positions. We'll be right back for the top 3 to hear their thoughts. So don't go away, guys. We'll be right back. Good evening all, welcome back to the Invictus Racing League, the realistic performance league on the PlayStation platform, brought to you in partnership with gridfinder.com. I'm still speechless of that race, to be fair. I'm sure JP will say the exact same words as what I've just said. Are you speechless, JP?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic race to watch. I mean, I don't think we could keep up with the action quick enough.
I think we need to retire after that to try and keep up with everything going on as well, to be fair. But, to be fair, it was absolutely fantastic racing from the battles. I mean, Simon Palmer winning his second race of the week. He won it in F2, and now he's won it in the Realistic Performance League tonight. Ginger Tiger will have nightmares of Joe Hamster tonight because of the battle throughout that race, and Joe Hamster will finish off in third after 32 laps to gamble on one of the most unbelievable strategies that we've ever seen for a very long time. And he was hoping that there was no more safety car in that stage, but fantastic stuff as well. So we've got the top three drivers. We've got the top three drivers of Simon Palmer, Ginger Tiger and Joe Hamster to join in with us. But I'm going to start with Joe Hamster. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, I'm doing good, mate, thanks.
You're doing good, that's good stuff. But there's a few question marks that probably need to be mentioned about. One was you had to pit really early. Was there, I think it was a bit of damage, correct me if I'm wrong, before you did the 32 lap manic hard tyre stint, shall we say?
Yeah, I pitted lap 1 because, people just broke really early into turn 1, so I just rear-ended somebody. I'm not too sure who. It didn't really affect them or people ahead, but it wrecked my front wing, so I had to pit from lap 1.
Oh, from lap 1. Okay. But it looked like you had to pit from lap 5, I think, or lap 6, correct me if I'm wrong, as well.
I put the softs on by accident, so when the safety car came out, I pitted for the hards.
Oh, we was thinking
tried to make them last.
Yeah, we was thinking. Okay, that's great strategy here. It's like soft to hard, and then try and go all the way to the end as well. And you did that perfectly as well. I mean, throughout that battle, you had the Joe Hamster train, you had Ginger Tiger, you had Speed Queen, and there was quite a few other drivers. How did you get that Alpine to do the rocket of a straight line speed compared to the Haas as well?
Well, I think obviously the Alpine's faster anyway, so that helps. But I ran a really low downforce setup. I did the same in F2, which was working until I crashed, so that probably helped as well. That on top of the faster car.
Fair enough. We'll have to wait and see how everything plans out. But it looked like you had near the end of the race, you had a bit of a battle between yourself and Speed Queen. I just wanted to hear your point of view, because it looked like, I don't know whether you had enough room or Speed Queen didn't have enough room to make the move on you on the baseball ground. So I just want to hear your thoughts. Nothing bad or anything. I just want to hear your thoughts of the driving at that point in time as well.
Yeah, well, Ginger made a nice move down into the stadium section around the outside, and obviously I was offline with worn tyres, and then Speed Queen, in my opinion, kind of silly of her to really set it up the inside in the middle of the stadium when I'm struggling for traction with worn tyres. If she just waited for the straight, she would have sailed past me, but I did make contact with her, but I literally had nowhere to go. I had to turn for the corner line.
Okay. I just want to know, from your point of view, because it could be that we've had problems in the past where the game on my screen could be different to what everyone else is seeing on screen. So that's why I wanted to double check from your point of view to see if there was anything different on that one, Joe. But 32 laps. Fine. Sorry, mate.
We did make contact, yeah, we did.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for explaining that, because I just want to make sure and everyone to point out as well. 32 laps. Did you plan on doing that originally? I know you've gone to the wrong tyre at the time, but did you, on the issue from lap 1, do you feel like 32 laps was the only way to keep on those hards from the back, near the back of the grid, to get yourself into the position that you was in now?
Yeah, I would have put on those hards on that lap regardless, whatever I had pitted. Whatever I had picked when I pitted, it was, as soon as the safety car came out, I always don't start on the hards so that I can run the hards for the rest of the race. It's a bit risky, but it gains you more time than you lose.
Well, absolutely. But Joe, I mean, I did not say anything on the commentator's curse during the sprint, so you can't moan me with that. You blame Henri's for that. You need to watch it back because did I say commentator's curse at all, JP, during that race at all?
Not I'm aware of.
So there you go. Probably in my head, commentator's curse headed in.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. But Joe, you got third place and good points in the Realistic Performance League as well. Fantastic stuff. Great drive from you, mate. Fantastic. No worries. Ginger Tiger, the man with the plan that could not overtake an Alpine in the last 5-6 laps of that race. Please keep your swearing words to a minimal and not swear on stream, but tell us your thoughts of that race near the end.
No, I thought the race was going to plan. First stint on hards, I saw everybody go on mediums. So sort of, as long as I can stay with Simon within a few seconds, I'll be okay. Yeah. And then pitted as I wanted, and everything was going to plan. Made some moves, and then I didn't plan for Joe Hamster being there. It felt like a lot more than 5 laps, to be honest. It was more like 10. It felt like. But yeah, it was a good battle. I just didn't have the straight line speed. I had him through the S's. I don't know how many times I overtook him. Felt like about 5 or 6, but he overtook me back straight away.
Yeah, he's got a rocket. He's got a rocket fuel on his back car. That's why he's just shot with that Alpine. To be fair, but personally, from yourself,
I think he got a tap from JP, didn't he?
I can't remember unless Joe says otherwise, but I cannot remember from that point of view.
Yeah, I got absolutely rear-ended by him.
Okay.
That's what I thought. That's how I got past.
That was the baseball ground section.
Partner.
That was it. That was at the baseball ground. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to think. I was trying to think of it earlier as well. I was trying to think of the race itself. But from your perspective, Ginger Tiger, I was hoping for a repeat of F2 race between yourself and Solomon Palmer, but it got caught by the hamster himself.
Yeah, by the rocket hamster himself on the straights. Unfortunately, I couldn't do anything about it. It was a good race. Congratulations to Simon and Joe. Second place. I'll take the points.
Fair enough. And did you feel like you could have done anything different tonight, or do you think? I know we've had the Joe Hamster incident. I'm not going to talk about that now because it'll be another commentator's curse. But from your perspective, do you think there would have been a different way that you would have caught up with Simon Palmer tonight?
No, not really. I had to pit. I know the mediums can go a long way, so I had to pit straight after him. I came out side by side with him. Had a bit of tyre warm up to deal with, and then he got past the both Astons straight away.
Fair enough.
And then it was a case of trying to catch up with him, and then it was only about 2.5 seconds ahead of us, and I was trying to get past Joe, but I just couldn't do it.
Fair enough.
I mean, if I may interject, Malc.
No, carry on.
I was going to ask Ginger, obviously, what were your thoughts on, because obviously the first time you tried to overtake Joe, you got alongside and then all of a sudden he just started to creep back ahead. I mean, firstly, what were your thoughts when that started to happen? Because obviously in your mind, that should have been a pretty done deal move. And then also in your head, so what was kind of your plan with Joe? Because obviously as soon as you realised it was going to be ridiculously hard to overtake him down the straight, what other options were you thinking of to try and almost surprise him to overtake to try and get away afterwards?
Yeah, my plan was to overtake him through the S's on the last lap, because he couldn't have done anything about it then. I was so close behind him every lap, and I could have overtaken him just after the S's. That was the plan. Obviously there was an incident beforehand which helped me, but that was my plan. I was draining my ERS to nothing, and I just could not pass him. I was pedalling as well, and that didn't work either.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the excuses kicking in now, guys, from Ginger Tiger. To be fair,
it was a good race. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'm delighted with second place, to be honest, and I'm delighted for Simon and Joe. It was a good race. I was actually concerned for Speed Queen on the softs, because she flew past smoke, and in a Williams that's quick.
Yeah, she did.
I was concerned.
Yeah, so she did very well with the tyre management. I do apologise for interrupting there, but she did well with the tyre management. And then it was that contact that I mentioned about earlier on. So, so that's
good.
what.
It was a good race. That was my plan anyway, JP. That was the plan I was going to do for the last lap.
Fair dues, fair dues. You got any more, JP? Before I go to Simon Palmer?
No, carry on.
No
Yeah.
worries, no worries. Thank you, Ginger Tiger, for your second place. Well, thank you for your second place. That would be fantastic itself.
Thank you. No,
Yeah, thank you. No, it's all right, mate. It's all right. Mate. I'll do the positions itself, to be fair. So, Ginger Tiger, well done for getting second place, and I wish you all the best of luck for the remainder of the season. Same with Joe Amster as well. Simon Palmer, hello again. How you doing? You okay? Hello.
I think we fell into sleep.
I think Simon Palmer is absolutely gobsmacked. That's why there's no port. He did that last time. He was so.
I'm here.
Oh, you're finally here now.
I'm here.
He's trying to do the drinking session now, guys. He's trying to do the drinking session itself. But Simon Palmer, you're a winner again this week. You've won in F2, beaten Ginger Tiger in that race from F2, and now you've done the exact. I know it's a different matter, but still you've won again. But this time in the Performance League. So tell us your thoughts from your performance in the Alpine car.
Yeah, obviously over the moon with the win. It wasn't straightforward at all. You know, I was seriously concerned about Ginger's pace on the hards in his first stint.
Yeah.
I was just shocked that he was still sitting there, to be honest. And I was even more shocked when he kind of pitted the lap after me as well. I thought he might have taken the mediums a little bit longer.
Okay.
But I mean, there's just not a lot of pace difference between the mediums and the hards once they're up to speed. The hards feel really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think the key turning point was getting past the two Astons quickly of Russman and Sunboy. I think that was key.
Okay.
Yeah, so all in all, yeah, obviously very happy.
So, I mean, this is your first proper race, not from a reserve anymore. So this is your first official properly race. I know you've been racing 7 races already this season as a reserve, but now you took over from Tinus to as the replacement driver. So a first win, your win at the Realist Performance League, surely will be another massive boost for yourself, another confidence boost going into the final 5 races of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it's the kind of confidence that you need to know that you still got it, really, to be honest. So, let's see what next week brings.
Absolutely. I mean, we're at the Australian Grand Prix, so I want to hear your thoughts of, are you going to have the same look as you're going to have from tonight, or do you think you're going to have a bit of, depending on the car allocation, don't worry about the car allocation, tell us about your thought as, imagine if it was an equal performance, how do you think you're going to do at Australia, to be fair?
But I don't see why I can't be up there again, to be honest. There's no reason why I can't be. You know, it's only my own stupid errors throughout the season which has been the reason why I haven't been there.
Okay.
You know, and you know, silly decisions, silly moves that I've made and things like that. You know, I've only got myself to blame for that.
Yeah.
But if I race like I have done on Tuesday and tonight, then there's no reason why it can't happen again. Absolutely.
And Simon Palmer, I mean, I know in the past, and you're still going through it at the minute, I mean, you're recovering as well at the same time, and whatever happens, this is a massive boost, and it pleases me to see you win twice this week, personally. No disrespect to the other drivers, but it's more of a boost for yourself, and it's an honour to see you win twice this week, to be fair, and keep up with that, to be fair. Not two wins in a row, you know what I mean, but it's more of a, you know what I mean, just try and get yourself into that top 3 each week and then you'll be fine. But I know you've had struggles in the past, and I know you've had struggles currently at the minute, but we're all here, and you've done a fantastic job whatever happens, and it's an honour to see you win this week.
Nice
both
one,
times.
cheers, mate, and well done, Ginger, well done, Joe.
Nice one. So, thank you to Simon Palmer. Oh, actually, JP, have you got any questions for Simon before we go? Or you're okay?
I was gonna give him a two-part bit like I did with Ginger.
Go on then. Unless Simon
First
Palmer,
part, obviously, all about the race mainly. Because me being a fellow racing driver amongst yourselves, obviously, I'm quite interested in terms of the thought process of that. So the first part, Simon, is when Ginger was behind Joe, obviously the gap was about 2.5 seconds. At that point, were you slightly worried about him as a threat? And then the second part is, at what point did you almost, because I would assume it was a little bit tense to begin with, at what point did you relax just a little bit, knowing that you were a bit safe in first after a few laps of Ginger trying to fight Joe?
Okay, I could probably answer them both in one, because the answers probably can answer them both. It was when Ginger was behind Joe was when I started to feel a bit more comfortable. I know that Joe is not easy to get past. You know, in the sprint, when I think I was behind him in the sprint, wasn't I, at the start? And you know, the straight line that he had was just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I was thinking to myself, you know, there's just no way I'm going to be able to get him at all. So when Ginger was behind Joe, that's the time when I could kind of relax and I could see the time starting to increase. And then it was kind of relaxing then from probably about sort of 6-7 laps from the end. It was a bit more relaxed.
Cool. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Cool. Nice one. So, thank you to Simon Palmer, Ginger Tiger, and also to Joe Amster for their top 3 finishes. Thank you to JPH again for stepping in to help me out while Tim is just sorting out a few personal issues behind the scenes. He's okay. Don't worry. He's absolutely fine. He's just had to sort out a few personal issues behind the scenes. So hopefully he'll be back in the main comms next week. Fingers crossed. All being well. But yeah. Unbelievable scenes. Rain says, big kudos to Malc. 3 straight commentary sessions. Deserves a round of drinks instead of applause. Yeah, bring the drinks in. That's me done for this week, to be fair. So, but overall, I've enjoyed this week because I've seen the F2 guys to help out with Delange, who is still unwell at the minute. I'm hoping he's okay and get himself back to full recovery as quickly as possible in F2. Well done to and Sab to get himself back into the commentary box next week, all being well, with Delange. Max, good to see him back, but I'm not there on Wednesday night for the F3 race. So hopefully Joe Amster and Max will do the duo for the very first time to hear their thoughts, so watch out for those. And hopefully I'll be back on Thursday night with Tim for the Realistic Performance League. But if you want to catch more action, check out next week for round 11 on the Monday nights for the F1 League, the Premier League. That's the fastest league of it all. See you later, guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you to JP, as always. See you later. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.